All right, man, peace. So, brothers, I stated before this season that the LA Lakers were going to be a complete dumpster fire / shit show, whatever term you want to use, because there were just going to be too many various components who've been known for creating chaos throughout their careers coming together at one convergence for it not to be a shit show or a complete dumpster fire. It's just too many. When you take Rajon Rondo and what he's done over the course of his career with the many teams that he's been on, Lance Stevenson, LeBron James, JaVale McGee, Michael Beasley, like there was just no way. There was no way that they were going to be able to make it through this season without there being a nuclear implosion, not explosion, implosion. And now Stephen A is going to attest to this fact in the aftermath of Rajon Rondo choosing to not sit alongside the team as the LA Lakers were getting blown out at home, right in the aftermath, or really in what was supposed to be a celebratory event when LeBron James was able to eclipse Michael Jordan as the number 4 ranked all-time NBA scorer. So anyway, they're going to talk about it. I'm going to chime in.
Steve Knight, what's your reaction to Rondo?
Well, it speaks to the state of affairs involving the Los Angeles Lakers. Being in the arena, Jalen, Max, I got to tell you, it's just uncomfortable. LeBron, there was times when he was getting booed.
Well, wait a minute. LeBron James says that he's comfortable being uncomfortable. So that means that he was very much at home in that game.
He started off the game missing 4 straight free throws. They're the worst free throw shooting team in the NBA, and everybody in the arena knew that.
And brothers, by the way, do you know what you call a grown man who likes to make his environment purposely uncomfortable when it's not already uncomfortable, just for the sake of creating his own sense of order? You call that a female trapped in a man's body.
So they were definitely turned off by that ultimately, although they ultimately stood up and applauded him when he broke MJ's all-time scoring record. We have to look at it from that perspective. We have to think about the Los Angeles Lakers in terms of the dysfunctionality that's been raking through this franchise. Luke Walton and Brian Shaw and those boys and the coaching staff looking over at Rondo, clearly uncomfortable with him selecting to sit over there away from the team, whether he's done it.
Right, but what does that really mean? They looked at him, but no one got up to tell him, come sit with your teammates. You know what that means? They have no control over the locker room. And Rondo has no respect for them.
Done it before, and he has done it before, is irrelevant. The fact of the matter is, it looked unprofessional. It looked disrespectful.
Well, we know that Rajon Rondo, over the course of his career, has had many moments where he's been unprofessional. He just does not care. He reaches a point where he totally disregards the system and his team around him. And that's why he's been on so many franchises, despite the fact that he's been a very good point guard over the course of his, 12, 13-year career.
And he clearly did not care, and clearly they did. So it was made to be uncomfortable in that regard. You're also hearing stuff about Brandon Ingram and how his daddy has been speaking up and speaking out, and Brandon Ingram is not happy.
Right, but what does that really mean, Stephen A. Smith? For you to say that Brandon Ingram's dad has been very upset, that means that Brandon Ingram is telling him things that are going on in the Laker franchise and in that locker room that his dad does not like. And his dad is speaking up because he knows that his son won't. That's why. In all reality, these young dudes are out on LeBron James. They're done playing with LeBron James. So Magic and Pelinka are going to have to find a way to move those young players in the offseason right now for something. It might not be for Anthony Davis, but they're going to have to move those young guys for someone.
At all with what's been going on with this team. They're not happy with the front office. You're hearing noise about Rob Pelinka and Magic Johnson not necessarily being on the same page. Magic's got a lot of respect for Rob Pelinka. He doesn't appear to have any problem with it. But
you know what they say, when the ship starts to sink, all the rats are going to turn against each other. They're going to turn on one another. And I mean, look, it's no disrespect. I have love for Magic Johnson as a player. But it seems like everything else that he's ever tried in his life, other than being a great NBA point guard, has ended up being a failure. And I don't want to hear this shit about how Magic is a great businessman. What Magic is a great mascot that affords him many opportunities to invest in businesses that he would never get if he were not so charismatic. That's what he is. He's a charismatic mascot. No disrespect to the brother. But I will give Magic one more season before Jeannie Buss has to fire him.
But people are talking behind Rob Pelinka's back, saying that he's in the facilities all the time, just asking folks, did you see Magic? Have you seen Magic around or anything like that?
Now, brothers, why is Stephen A. Smith saying this on television? He's saying this to warn Magic. Stephen A. Smith is trying to warn Magic on TV. Watch out for this dude, Rob Pelinka. He's trying to make you look like you're derelict in your duties.
Just to bring attention to the fact that Magic isn't there all the time. You obviously see what's been taking place on the basketball court. Everywhere you turn, you're seeing this stuff. There's directors and producers sitting courtside looking at me saying, Stephen A.
I love that scene. That old black referee looking at LeBron. Nigga, sit your ass down. It's not my fault y'all losing.
Stephen A., is this man LeBron here to play basketball, or is he here to go Hollywood? Does he even care if he doesn't win another championship, or is he really about being here for the movies and all of that?
The season was done when LeBron did that shit. When LeBron inbounded the basketball off the back of the backboard, the season should have been called off from there. And I knew from here, I believe I stated in another video, it's very obvious to me that Kuzma is also out on LeBron. He don't want to hear none of that bullshit that LeBron is talking. Because, see, once the young guys see that you're not going to give effort on defense, they have no respect for you.
Well, that stuff. What's going on with this guy? They know he's averaging 27 a night. They don't care. They're looking at this team, and they're starting to look at everybody from Magic on down. And last but not least, Jeannie Buss didn't help matters. The wonderful Jeannie Buss, who I've always said, and I had the pleasure of talking to the other day, I didn't have a problem with her and her comments about fake news. I mean, obviously you don't want to do that, but, you know, as a favor, I just walked over to her to talk to her about that. But I can assure you, there's reporters in LA that have covered this team for years that were highly offended by what she said because they felt...
I'm sure they are, because many of them could write stories or columns, and the headline could be Jeannie Buss is a fake owner. You talking about fake news, you're a fake owner. You're basically a beta program sex kitten who was sent to college by your dad so that you could pose as somebody who could actually run a business when you can't. So let's be very careful who and what you're calling fake. Well, I mean, let's be for real. You could look in the mirror and see two things that are very fake sitting on top of your damn chest. The media could go ham like that on her. So Jeannie Buss needs to sit her ass down.
Felt they have spent years giving her a fair shake. So everywhere you turn, guys, it's chaos. It is not good. It's a pretty ugly situation as it pertains to the fan base and how they feel about these Lakers. And what makes it bad is that LeBron is here. If he wasn't here, you could just look at the roster. But the fact that he's here and we've been saying the things that we have been...
Well, if LeBron wasn't there, Magic Johnson would be out of a job already.
Been saying nobody is safe right now. I'm talking about from the fans' wrath. Nobody is safe. And that may include Magic Johnson before all is said and done.
Well, Stephen A. Smith, if what you're saying is true that nobody's safe, it's not just from the fans' wrath, because Jeannie Buss will respond to the fans. She will respond to the fans. And Magic Johnson has about one offseason left to get this ship righted.
Unless he does something about this quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Know why the Clippers are considered right now a more attractive destination? You hear the whispers than the Lakers.
Leadership.
Jerry West.
Absolutely.
Greatest executive by far in the history of basketball. I don't care what anyone says. It's not.
Well, he's up there. He's definitely up there.
It's not a coincidence wherever he shows up. You get dominant dynasties, starting with the Lakers after he was a player, and then even Memphis becomes a playoff team, comes back to the Lakers, they start winning championships again, goes to Golden State, right, puts his body in front of a Kevin Love for Klay Thompson deal, they become the dominant team. Now he's at the Clippers. They're about against some superstars, it looks like, and they're healthy and playing well. It's not as easy as people think, like Rob Pelinka and Magic Johnson. Why is Rondo sitting by himself, off to the side? First of all, Rondo's on a one-year deal, right? So are all the veterans, basically, on one-year deals. The young players, they know that they can be traded if there's a real star available, because they already tried to trade every single good young player they had.
Max Kellerman, I have news for you. The young players are no longer thinking about how they could be traded. The young players right now are thinking that they want to be traded. That's really what the issue is. That's why all these guys are coming down with mystery injuries and they don't want to play anymore. Because they're at the point now where it's almost like a dude who's with a chick who's always breaking up with him. After a while, he's like, you know what? I don't even want to be with this bitch no more. That's how them young dudes are. They don't even want to play with LeBron anymore. The only thing that's stopping the vast majority of them from probably requesting a trade is that they like it out in LA so much. But I think a lot of them would like to be gone right now.
There they had for Anthony Davis. It's not so easy to do this. Well, let's just clear cap space and sign the greats, right? You have to have the right environment to do so. So when you look at Jerry West, how do you wind up with Shaq and Kobe after he'd already put that team together in the past? How do you wind up with Shaq and Kobe even, right? It's not like they were just stunk every year. He had a good, fun, fast, competitive team, Eddie.
Absolutely. Eddie Jones, Nick Van Exel, Eldon Campbell. And that team actually won 50-plus games the year before Shaq and Kobe got there.
Eddie Jones and those guys, right? But they weren't tied into bad long-term deals. So it was an attractive place to play. It was still kind of showtime. He sees, okay, Shaq's going to be a free agent. We're going to clear the decks, make sure we got money for that dude when he's ready. The money was ready to go get Shaq. Kobe, that dude in the draft. We're going to do whatever it takes to get this kid out of high school. Jerry West is running around. This guy's going to be the greatest player ever. And he makes that happen. It's not. So what the Lakers did, they signed LeBron James. And I said, aha, very clever. What we're going to do now is try and develop the young kids and sign some veterans. And even if it's misguided about not having shooting, they'll have playmakers. We'll put them on one-year deals so we don't have cap space problems. But if you don't manage that and balance that carefully, because that's delicate, what you have is a bunch of veterans who are not invested long-term because they're on short deals, and a